Hello, welcome to this new episode. I am so glad you're here with me. I am coming to you the day before Halloween, so it feels very freaky and creepy in my house right now. The joys of living in an old house, and I am here to talk to you about something creepy too. Today we are going to talk about creepy Wikipedia articles, because one thing about me that you should know, this is kind of like that TikTok trend when people sing that song that's like, one thing about me. Mine would be, one thing about me is that I love Wikipedia articles, and especially the ones that are creepy Wikipedia articles. Even like the list of unusual deaths or list of youngest killers. So let's just get into it. Why am I even singing? You might not even have TikTok and you might just think, what was she even doing? But okay, we're here. Let's go for it. So I am just extremely passionate about weird Wikipedia pages and probably spend way too much time finding the extra niche, strange ones. So why not share them here with you? The first thing I want to share with you is book curse. A book curse was a way to discourage the theft of manuscripts during medieval Europe. But the use of book curses also dates back much further to pre-Christian times, when the wrath of gods was invoked to protect books and scrolls. Generally, book curses were added in the first or last page of a book. If a person stole or ripped out a page, they were destined to die an agonising death. And actually, book curses date back to the creation of libraries themselves, with ancient librarians regarding book theft as on par with murder and blasphemy. At the library in Nineveh, modern-day Iraq, in approximately 650 BC, a book curse reads, "Whoever removes the tablet, writes his name in the place of my name. May Asher and Ninil, angered and grim, cast him down, erase his name, his seed, in the land." In medieval times, book curses reflected how sacred and precious these books were, especially before printing presses. For example, "Steal not this book, my honest friend, for fear the gallows should be your end. And when you die, the Lord will say, 'And where's the book you stole away?'" And finally, one more curse to protect a medieval Spanish library. "Him that stealeth or borroweth and returneth not this book from its owner, let it change into a serpent in his hand, and rend him. Let him be struck with palsy, and all his members blasted. Let him languish in pain, crying out for mercy, and let there be no surcease to his agony, till he sings in dissolution. Let bookworms gnaw his entrails, and let the flames of hell consume him forever." I love the idea of book curses, and I particularly love that books were so valuable and so important that they were considered this sacred and this protected. I think that's a really cool little historical snippet. Next, I'd like to talk to you about Local 58, which is one of my favourite ever things on the internet. So Local 58 is a horror web series on YouTube. Each video is presented as footage of a fictional public access TV channel located in West Virginia. The videos show ominous and surreal broadcasts, referencing the end of the world, the moon and night sky, and organisations and control. It's actually really hard to explain, so all I can say is pause this podcast. If it's safe to do so, go just enter Local 58 in YouTube and have a little look, if you dare. That is my warning, they are very unnerving. Sky watching is my favourite Local 58 video. Following a broadcast schedule, an episode of Sky watching begins, but is suddenly cut out, accompanied by the sound of a high-pitched, distorted scream. The footage is replaced by an amateur broadcast by a man videoing the night sky through his camera. The man aims his camera at Orion's belt, then changes his camera's lens to begin filming the moon. The on-screen text refers to the moon as his throne. The cameraman then shows close-ups of the moon's surface with moving clouds, seemingly organic formations, but also strange artificial constructions. The moon then fades away. As the camera changes the lens again, a loud noise can be heard as the moon reappears. now far larger in size. An air raid siren sounds, and the cameraman adjusts the brightness of the camera pointing at the moon, showing its southern hemisphere cracked open, revealing the body of a gigantic, skeletal organism inside. The cameraman then walks towards the moon with his hands raised as the siren abruptly cuts out. On-screen text then appears saying "Rejoice" before the screen cuts to static. I'm just going to give you a little taster of the audio, which hopefully will kind of give you the vibe and convince you to watch, because these videos are just genius. So unnerving, so creepy. Next up, we're going to talk about Belmez faces. On the 23rd of August 1971, in Belmez, Spain, Maria Gomez Camara claimed that a human face formed spontaneously on her concrete kitchen floor. Maria's husband and son destroyed the image with a pickaxe, and new concrete was laid down. However, the family claimed that a new face formed on the floor. The mayor of Belmez was informed and forbade the destruction of the new face, and the floor concrete was cut out and taken to be studied. Maria's home was advertised to tourists as the House of the Faces, and for the next 30 years the family claimed the faces continued to appear while hundreds of visitors came to look at the phenomena. Skeptics have performed extensive tests of the faces and believe that they are fabrications created by the family for financial gain. There have been many tests and other bits of analysis completed on the faces, so I will leave you to look into that. And all I ask is that you please Google Belmez faces, just to see how creepy they are, because it is really creepy. And even if it is a hoax, the idea of faces appearing in concrete, especially faces that keep coming back, just deeply disturbs me. Something a little different now. Rapunzel syndrome. Rapunzel syndrome is an extremely rare condition in humans resulting from ingesting hair. Since 1968, there have been less than 40 documented cases, but women are more subject to the syndrome as they're more likely to have long hair. When a hairball is ingested in Rapunzel syndrome, it creates a tail like a rat's tail, or a cat or a dog, or any kind of tail, in the small bowel and or the colon. So you could have consumed so much hair that you have a tail coming out of your bum. I'm speechless, I don't have anything to say. I feel terrible for anyone who has this, but I'm just going to finish this by saying, if you want to sleep tonight and not be forever creeped out, please do not Google Rapunzel syndrome. And don't say I didn't warn you. Didn't even know this was possible. I love medical oddities and things like this, so perfect for me. But yeah, do not Google Rapunzel syndrome. You're going to do it now anyway, but seriously, it is disturbing. Now, before I go here, I just want to leave you some of my favourite Wikipedia lists. So if you're not familiar, Wikipedia has these lists and they're kind of like sources for other interesting articles. So these are a few of my favourite lists. Go have a look at them if something here piques your interest, and yeah, you might find something interesting to read. I know these are a little bit dark, but they're just, I don't know, I just find them all so interesting, and Wikipedia is such an interesting and underrated source of information and a good way to find out new little, I don't know, strange things, happenings, crimes, everything I love reading about, really. So there is a list of unusual deaths A list of people who disappeared mysteriously. That's one of my favourites. A list of mass hysteria cases. A list of people who disappeared mysteriously at sea. A list of unidentified murder victims in the United States. A list of youngest killers. That one's really crazy. And finally, a list of nuclear close calls if you don't want to sleep tonight. Thank you so much for listening to me. I really enjoyed being able to share this kind of special interest of mine, weird Wikipedia pages, with you. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, please reach out and tell me if you did, because it is such a pleasure to hear from people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please stay safe, and I will be back with a new episode soon. Bye for now.